What if the thing that hurt you most growing up wasn't something that happened to you, but something that never happened at all? No shouting, no bruises, no obvious trauma, just silence, absence, a feeling you could never quite name. Emotional neglect is one of the most misunderstood forms of childhood pain because it leaves no visible marks. And that's exactly why so many people carry it their entire lives without ever realizing it. Today we're going through 8 signs that you grew up with emotional neglect, from the quiet ones you've explained away your whole life, to the ones that are still shaping every relationship you have right now. Stay until sign number 5. Most people say that's the one that finally made everything make sense. Before we get started, please subscribe and like this video. Sign 1, you feel like your feelings are too much. You don't just feel emotions, you feel guilty for feeling them. Sad, you tell yourself you're overreacting. Angry, you swallow it. Anxious, you apologize for it before anyone even notices. This is one of the clearest footprints emotional neglect leaves behind. When a child's emotions are consistently met with dismissal, stop crying. You're fine. It's not a big deal. The brain learns that feelings are a problem to be managed, not a signal to be heard. The psychology behind it. Emotional regulation is a learned skill. Children learn it by watching their caregivers respond to emotion with warmth. When that doesn't happen, the child learns to regulate alone, and the only tool they have is suppression. Ask yourself, when was the last time you let yourself feel something fully, without immediately trying to stop it? Sign 2 reveals something even more uncomfortable because it looks a lot like strength. Sign 2, you became fiercely self-sufficient very early. You figured things out on your own. You didn't ask for help. You became the one people relied on, not the one who needed anything. People praise this about you. They call you capable, independent, mature, and it feels good. Until you notice you genuinely don't know how to let anyone help you, even when you're drowning. Emotional neglect teaches children that their needs will not be met, so they stop having needs. Or rather, they stop showing them. The self-sufficiency isn't strength. It's armor. The cost. Loneliness at a level most people around you can't even see. Sign 3, you have a persistent feeling that something is wrong with you. Not about a specific thing, just in general. A quiet background hum that you're somehow broken, deficient, or fundamentally different from other people. You can't always explain it. It doesn't have a face. It just sits there. When a child's emotional world is ignored, they don't conclude my parents aren't meeting my needs. Children aren't wired to blame their caregivers. They conclude, I must be the problem. That belief, formed before you had words for it, can quietly run your life for decades. Sign 4 might explain something about your relationships that you've never been able to put your finger on. Sign 4, intimacy makes you deeply uncomfortable. Not because you don't want it, you do. But the moment someone gets genuinely close, the moment they see you, really see you, something in you pulls back. You self-sabotage. You go cold. You find a reason to push them away. Emotional neglect disrupts attachment. When closeness in childhood was paired with emotional absence, the nervous system learns to associate intimacy with danger. Connection triggers the very anxiety it was supposed to soothe. You don't push people away because you don't care. You push them away because some part of you is still waiting to be disappointed. Sign 5, you struggle to identify what you actually feel. Someone asks, how are you feeling? And you genuinely don't know. Not because you're hiding it, but because the signal is just blurry, muted. Like a radio station you can't quite tune in. Psychologists call this alexithymia, difficulty identifying and describing emotional states. It's significantly more common in people who grew up in emotionally neglectful environments, when no one helped you name your feelings as a child, when emotions were never discussed, reflected back, or validated. The internal vocabulary simply didn't develop. You learned to read every room except the one inside yourself. Music, fuller orchestral tension, emotional peak building. Sign 6, you have a deep fear of being a burden. You minimize your problems. You say, I'm fine before anyone asks. You rehearse whether something is worth bringing up before you say it. And more often than not, you decide it isn't. The fear of being a burden is a direct echo of emotional neglect. When your childhood needs went unacknowledged, or worse, were met with irritation, distraction, or dismissal, You learned that having needs was an inconvenience. That lesson doesn't stay in childhood. It follows you into friendships, relationships, workplaces, quietly convincing you that the people who love you would love you more if you needed less. Sign 7, you feel empty in ways that are hard to explain. Not always sad, not exactly depressed, just hollow, like there's a part of you that should feel full and somehow doesn't. This particular feeling is strongly associated with childhood emotional neglect in clinical psychology. When emotional nourishment is missing during development, there is often a residual sense of absence that persists into adulthood, a hunger that doesn't have a name and therefore can't easily be fed. Many people try to fill it with busyness, achievements, substances, relationships. The emptiness stays. Sign 8 is the one that surprises people most because it looks like something completely different. Sign 8, you're incredibly hard on yourself. You hold yourself to standards you would never apply to someone you love. You replay mistakes long after everyone else has forgotten them. You apologize constantly. You feel shame over things that genuinely don't warrant it. Here's the psychology. When a child doesn't receive unconditional emotional support, they often internalize a critical inner voice that essentially takes the place of the missing parent. It's a coping mechanism, a way of trying to stay safe by preempting rejection. The cruelest part? That voice often sounds like your own. If you recognized yourself in any of these signs, I want you to hear this. The emptiness you've carried. The feeling that you're too much and not enough at the same time. The armor you built to survive a childhood where your emotional world wasn't seen. None of that makes you broken. It makes you human, someone who learned to cope with something that was never your fault to carry. Emotional neglect is survivable. And more than that, it's healable. The research is clear. Awareness is the first step, and you just took it. If this resonated with you, subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of content we make every week. And if someone in your life needs to hear this, share it with them. Sometimes the most important thing is just knowing you're not alone.